In the headlines, residents flee as bandits kill 17 soldiers in fresh Kaduna attack. Federal High Court stops Obaseki Edo State Independent Electoral Commission from conducting local government election due to alleged infractions in state electoral law. And in business news, queues mount as deactivated subscribers storm telecom outlets to link SIM cards. And on the foreign scene, EU targets Russian coal and ships in new sanctions as allegations of war crimes intensify. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Akwa Ibom. Thank you for joining. Now the details, beginning with security matters. Terrorists have killed 17 soldiers in an attack at a military base in Polwaya, Birningwari local government area of Kaduna State. Reports say that 40 wounded soldiers were taken to the 44 Army Reference Hospital facility, including 17 of them confirmed to have been killed by the terrorists. During the attack, it was learned that more than 20 other soldiers were injured. It was gathered that the AK-47 rifle-wielding bandits riding on motorcycles engaged the soldiers and battled them for more than 2 hours before the terrorists eventually subdued the soldiers. The terrorists, it was also learned, raised an armored personnel carrier after they had overwhelmed the troops. They were said to have made away with weapons belonging to the soldiers. And now here is a timeline of bandits' attack in Kaduna within the year 2022. Let's take a look.
Tuesday, April 5th, terrorists attacked Kaduna military base, killing 17 soldiers, 3 locals, while injuring 19 people. Sunday, April 3rd, bandits attacked Angwarmaji community at Jere town in Kagarko local government area while abducting 11. Bandits attacked communities in Kagarko local government of Kaduna, scores of Almajiris abducted. Thursday, March 31st, bandits attacked Sabo GRA on the outskirts of Kaduna metropolis, killing 3 residents, abducting 10 and injuring 6 others. Monday, March 28th, terrorists attacked Kaduna trains, killing 8 while abducting scores. Sunday, 27th March, bandits invaded Hayinkanwa village, Yakawada ward in Giwa local government area, killing 15 people. Saturday, March 26th, bandits attacked Kaduna International Airport, killing a security personnel. On Friday, March 25th, terrorists attacked 9 communities in Giwa local government council while killing 50 persons and burning several houses. Sunday, 20th March, terrorists attacked Aura local government area, killing 34 people. Thursday, March 17th, terrorists kidnapped about 46 locals in Ogunuduti of Kachia local government area of Kaduna State. Thursday, March 10th, terrorists attacked Fomigi Street in Angwangala Dima Gonengora, Chiku local government area of Kaduna State, killing 3 locals and abducting 2 women.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff has called on bandits and terrorists to drop their arms or face defeat. The Army Chief disclosed this during an operational tour of the Maimalari cantonment in Maiduguri. While inspecting the Army Park, he praised the troops for the successive operations against insurgents and recovering arms and ammunition in Sambisa Forest, Timbuktu Triangle, and other places. Yahaya said that the Army will not relent until the war destabilizing the peace of the nation is won.
Agencies are not deterred by some few setbacks we'll have intermittently, you will call them. But we are determined to get across them and move and defeat this enemy. And what we have seen here has spoken for itself in what we are doing. And even the area of surrenders we have, even yesterday we had some from the Zambisa, and we are having them every now and then. What we have recovered here speak for themselves in both equipment, arms and ammunition, medical, and whatever you can think about, and we are not relenting. Our call to all these terrorists and bandits and criminals is to know that the time is against them. And the earlier they toe the line of peace, the better. Otherwise, we will get them.
And away from security, following the sacking of an Abuja imam over a controversial sermon, the Borno State Police Command has warned religious leaders to desist from public preaching. The Commissioner of Police gave their warning at a stakeholders meeting on the need to regulate Islamic religious preaching in Borno State. He said the decision to prohibit public preaching was informed by the state governor's revelation that state laws frown at sermons that incite violence and disunity among followers.
There's always a punishment. Whenever somebody goes contrary to the law, then it's supposed to be investigated and prosecuted and subsequently be punished for the offense he committed. And that task falls within our family, the police and the DSS. So, and that is why we are calling on you to please partner with us, to partner with the government, so that we can be able to extend this mission of the government to the general public who are mostly unaware of this.
On contravention of those rules or those procedures that earn you that license, that qualifies you to be given that license, can equally make you to have that license withdrawn by the stated authority as explained in this enabling law. So media has a very good and big role to play here.
Some telecommunications subscribers were left stranded on Tuesday after telecom companies barred their lines from making calls following a directive from the federal government. The federal government had on Monday directed telecom companies to enforce compliance with its National Identification Number Subscriber Identification Model policy by blocking outgoing calls on all unlinked lines after the deadline for the SIM-NIN verification exercise on March 31. While giving the directive, the government revealed that 125 million SIMs had submitted their NINs for linkage. In a statement on Monday, it said that Alton members are committed to complying with the instructions and call on telecommunications subscribers who have not obtained an or linked a NIN to their SIMs to do so at any of the designated centers on Tuesday. Many subscribers were unable to make calls on their lines. Checks reveal that subscribers have started visiting telecom service centers in droves to link their NIN to their SIMs. The president of the National Association of Telecom Subscribers, Adiola Ogumbanjo, said people were rushing to the centers because of the commercial undertone of the ban. Now, on political matters, there are still uncertainties about zoning principle in the People's Democratic Party as its 37-member committee of the party unanimously agree to a common position on the presidential ticket of the party ahead of the 2023 elections. Announcing the resolution of the committee in Abuja, its chairman and Benue State Governor Samuel Atom says the position taken by the committee will be communicated to the National Executive Committee of the party for further action. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman has more.
After months of uncertainty with regards to the zoning arrangement of the People's Democratic Party, Nigeria's leading opposition party, with intense interests, intense lobbying and horse trading and consultations, all geared towards the zoning arrangement of the party, the 37-member committee of the party, which is being chaired by the governor of Benue State, Samuel Atom, just rose from a closed-door session and, of course, told journalists that there was a unanimous decision, on a standpoint or on a position taken, which is going to be communicated to the National Executive Committee of the party.
By the grace of God, we have unanimously adopted a position that will be sent to the neck of our party that appointed us. So the good news for our teaming supporters of the PDP and Nigerians is that we have resolve, and every one of us, the 37 members, unanimously adopted the position we are going to present to NEC.
There is also an ongoing consultation among some top presidential contenders of northern extraction, led by the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, alongside Aminu Tambuwal, the governor of Sokoto State, and Bala Mohammed, Bauchi State governor. They've said severally they are also in touch with another leading contender, talking about the Wazirin Adamawa, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, to arrive at the consensus. So, the situation within the PDP, that is the major opposition People's Democratic Party in Nigeria, is still cloudy. But then there are indications one of the key challenge that has remained an obstacle and an albatross of all the political parties in Nigeria, that is the zoning arrangement, might have been disposed by this committee led by the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otam. From the Benue Governor's Lodge here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News.
Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday stopped Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State and the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission from conducting local government elections in the state. Justice Taiwo, while granting the motion ex parte, added that he was of the view that the alleged infraction in the Edo State electoral law vis-a-vis the Electoral Act 2022, as canvassed by the plaintiffs, is worth looking at by the court. In the suit, the Edo State Commission is the third defendant, while the Independent National Electoral Commission, Attorney General of Edo State, Speaker, Edo House of Assembly, Clerk, Edo House of Assembly, People's Democratic Party, and Dr. Iyocha Ayu are the defendants. The applicants are challenging the validity of the Edo State electoral law, which allows for the holding of elections within 15 days from the date of the publication of notice for the conduct of the election. They are further contending that the state's law contradicts the Electoral Act 2022, which provides for at least 150 days before election. As the 2023 elections draw closer, political actors in the country are building alliances that will help them scale through the political hurdles ahead of the elections. To this end, a former Senate President and stalwart of the People's Democratic Party, Bukola Saraki, recently visited a South-South governor as part of building alliances for the 2023 elections. The report.
The former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, while in the South-South, said all presidential aspirants of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, from the North are working for the emergence of a consensus candidate to foster the much-desired unity in the country. Saraki disclosed this in Asaba when he led other aspirants, including Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and former Managing Director of FSB International Bank PLC, Alhaji Muhammad Haituddin, on a consultative visit to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa at Government House, Asaba. He said that Nigeria is in dire need of competent leaders to reverse the country's slide into poverty, insecurity, and anarchy, called on stakeholders of the party to support consensus arrangement to ensure that the party remain united and able to rescue the country from maladministration.
We're very committed in this exercise that we're doing to ensure that one of us, whoever agreed, would come out under this consensus. We're committed to this process. And we also hope that we also have some of the aspirants too, also who are still thinking about it, can also look at this consensus arrangement too. So that at the end of the day, the PDP will be united and will provide leadership to this country.
Responding, Okowa thanked the visitors for coming to intimate him of their plans, insisting that consensus candidacy is indeed in the best interest of the unity of the party and the country.
I truly want to appreciate you for this visit and to urge that you continue to work hard towards the building of this consensus and actually the building of the party, because as you build this consensus across the nation, you're also building the party, the PDP, and preparing us to be in a good state to be able to truly compete favorably and win. And I think that this is the kind of thing we need at the moment.
Former senator representing Rivers Southeast Senatorial District at the Senate, Magnus Abe, said that the President Muhammadu Buhari is yet to anoint anyone as his successor. Senator Abe stated this against the rumor that President Buhari has chosen an influential member of the All Progressives Congress to succeed him ahead of the 2023 presidential election. Speaking with his supporters in Port Harcourt, Rivers State Senator Abe advised those jubilating that the Buhari successor has emerged not to be deceived by any politician.
A false rumor, and you will see it in the end. Within the next 3 to 4 months, by the INEC timetable, all these kitty kata kata that you're seeing everywhere, everything will calm down. You will begin to see where the water is passing. And anybody who is a strong riverine person knows that when you're paddling your canoe along with the side where the water is flowing, the tide is going with you. You don't need too much energy to move your canoe. But if you are paddling against the tide, where you don't have people, you didn't win election, you have nothing, you say you want to go and be the presidential candidate, you need a lot of power. That is why you see them powering, and that canoe will not move because it is moving against the tide. Don't sit down and be saying, oh, Victor has become South Vice Chairman, so there is nothing we can do. Oyegun was chairman, he was not with us. Didn't we do something? Adams was chairman, he was not with us. Didn't we do something? Buni was chairman, was he with you? So what is the issue? What we want is a chairman that will look at the rights and interests of all members of this party and give everybody a fair chance. That's all we're asking from the party. Is that not what we want? Is that not what you wanted Bombs to do? So if another person has the opportunity, Elder, welcome. If another person has the opportunity or the privilege to go and do the job, they simply do it according to what the constitution of the party prescribes.
The party is aware that the state called River State is still factionalized. They are aware. They are also aware that they need to do things fast in River State so that we'll all come together. Are you aware? Where we are now is that the state party, the party in the national must speak that the River State must be allowed to produce candidates that can win the election and not a candidate that suits the whims and caprices of an individual. We have passed that stage.
And away from politics, an Akwa Ibom State Magistrate Court presided over by Magistrate Ini Ifyok Isong has directed that the order remanding the accused person in the criminal defamation of the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel, a fortnight ago extended by another 14 days. The court had ordered that the accused, one Idonjiset Idiok, be remanded in the custody of the Ikot Ekpene Correctional Center for a period not exceeding 14 days over allegation of defamatory Facebook post when the matter first came up last month. Idiok was said to have been remanded at the Correctional Center after publishing a defamatory piece against the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel, on his Facebook page, Soundcraft Owo Oba. By the extension order, the accused is to remain in custody for another 2 weeks, pending when the Department of Public Prosecution in the State Ministry of Justice is expected to file charges in the appropriate court against the accused. The failure of the DPP to file the case at the Federal High Court before now has been allegedly traced to the police. Barrister John Okon, who represented the State Commissioner of Police, said that the police complied with the order of the court to hand over the case file to the DPP, but had difficulty including the investigation report in the file because of challenges with their computer system. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up shortly. How prices of foods scare buyers. Details and more after the break. Please stay.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for staying here watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. Terrorists have killed 17 soldiers in an attack at a military base in Polwaya, Buriningwari local government area of Kaduna State. Reports say that 40 wounded soldiers were taken to the 44 Army Reference Hospital facility, including 17 of them confirmed to have been killed by the terrorists. Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday stopped Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State and the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission from conducting local government elections in the state. And elsewhere, President Muhammadu Buhari has said that the implementation of the right policies by the present administration has boosted Nigeria's rising prominence as Africa's fertilizer powerhouse. The president said this Tuesday at the State House, Abuja, during an audience with the Executive Committee of Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria. He said Nigeria was on its way to becoming Africa's fertilizer powerhouse with over 70 blending plants in operation, adding that with the mega urea production facilities, Nigeria is definitely a global player in the urea space. In his remarks, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele said fertilizer remained a key input to achieving food security, noting that it was in realization of this that the Apex Bank had continued to place great importance on its availability and accessibility by farmers to improve yield, productivity, and ultimately output. Also speaking, FEPSAN President Thomas Etu thanked President Buhari for commissioning 2 facilities by members of the association, Barbados blending plant in Kaduna and the Dangote urea plant in Lagos, within 2 months.
To 2015, there were only 7 fertilizer companies across the country, producing at 10% of their installed capacity, while Nigeria's urea output was reported at less than 300,000 tons. Of course, it meant the commodity was not readily available, and corruption could easily erode its distribution. Today, after 6 years of implementing the presidential initiative on fertilizer, the story seems to be different. This is according to President Buhari, who is sitting down with fertilizer producers and suppliers in Nigeria to review the successes of the last few years.
A key indicator of how successful our policies are is the fact that we had no shortage of fertilizers during the global COVID lockdowns. Today, I am pleased to hear your assurances that we will not have any shortages in Nigeria because of the Eastern European conflicts.
And the producers of the commodity agree that the initiative has taken Nigeria's fertilizer production base from almost zero to the highest consumption in the nation's history, at 1.8 million tons per annum.
Today, Nigeria can boast of having 70 NPK plants, 3 urea plants. 95% of this investment is from the private sector. This is a clear sign of the confidence investors have in Mr. President's policy and programs.
What this conversation lacks, however, is the experience of end users. Are farmers actually benefiting from the boost in fertilizer production? Are they able to assess their farms in the face of crippling insecurity? And why are prices of food items constantly rising in the markets? But then, answering these questions will trigger off another conversation altogether. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
As Muslims stock up on the traditional foods for the month of Ramadan, prices of foodstuff have skyrocketed in the market. Fatima Saleh, who visited some markets within the Kaduna metropolis, has more.
A check at the popular Bakindogo market in Kaduna reveals that prices of most staple fruits have gone up. Ibrahim Muhammad, a yam seller, says the hike in food price is not related to this year's Ramadan, but blames it on the insecurity which affects farmers across the country, especially the northern region.
We used to get supply from Madaka, but in recent times, the people in the area were displaced by insecurity. And if Madaka is not producing yam, there may be scarcity and skyrocketing of price in the market.
Some traders say food prices largely depend on how much they are able to purchase the commodities from producing companies. They claimed the prices usually go up in the month of Ramadan and called on the relevant agencies to ensure price control.
Speaking, everything has changed, honestly speaking, because before we are selling, we are buying food commodities from the company in the lower price, and then we are selling it at the end of the day at the lower price.
As many continue to pay as much as double the normal price of food items, the chairman of grain sellers in Kaduna State explained that the price of grains has been controlled ahead of this year's Ramadan in order to cushion the suffering of the ordinary man.
We have reduced the price of grains to ease the hardship of people in the month of Ramadan. We sold a bag of guinea corn at 26 to 27,000 naira, but we have reduced to 24 or 25,000 naira. The bag of maize, which we sold 24,000 naira, but we now sell at 22,000, and the bag of beans from 58,000 to 55,000.
It has become a norm for prices of commodities to rise during the month of Ramadan and other festive periods in the country, as buyers are left with no option than to make purchase. Fatima Salaladan, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, away from Nigeria, the EU is proposing further sanctions against the Kremlin after allegations of Russian war crimes in Ukraine, with EU ambassadors meeting on Wednesday to decide what steps to take. European Commission head Ursula von der Leyen said that planned measures included an import ban on coal and a ban on Russian ships and road operators. The US is also planning more sanctions, while the UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss is calling for a tough new wave of sanctions from G7 and NATO ministers. She said her Japanese counterpart had agreed the international community had to increase pressure on Russia's Vladimir Putin and his war machine with further coordinated sanctions. And that wraps up Trust News Update. Thank you for watching. I am Ayuba. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.